The African Virtual University is a Pan-African intergovernmental organization that leverages information and communication technologies to deliver open, distance, and e-learning programs to universities in Africa. We work across the African continent in Francophone, Anglophone, and Lusophone Africa. Right now, we are working with in over 20 countries, delivering programs in teacher education and computer science in about 27 institutions currently. We just finished the first phase of this project, which is funded by the African Development Bank, and this was considered a very successful phase, and that's why right now we are in what we are calling the multinational phase 2 of the African Development Bank project. So we are looking forward to delivering programs to even more countries than we had in the first phase of the project, since the first phase was very successful. One of the important aspects for this delivery is also gender mainstreaming, to make sure that we get and encourage female participation, especially in the science and technology programs. The first model of the AVU was courses were being delivered from universities in the global north, from Australia, from Canada, from the US. So these were already coming as pre-packaged courses that were being accredited by these universities in the north. And so the model turned out not to be very sustainable. And so the African Virtual University had to turn around this model. And in 2003, they adopted open distance and e-learning. So with open distance and e-learning, they've been able to engage faculty from the different universities to train them in developing, designing, and delivering open distance and e-learning programs. This from the ground up approach has actually been very, very successful because the faculty are involved from the beginning of the design to the development to the delivery. In the prior model, they were just involved in the delivery and the implementation, but they were not involved in the curriculum design processes, and they were not engaged in the same way, and capacity was not being built in the same way. We really don't certify programs right now. That is done through the African universities. So what we do is we work with them to develop these programs and these modules. And right now, the two major degree programs is teacher education in math and science education. So we've worked to develop modules in biology, chemistry, physics, and math, and then in computer science. So once we work with them to develop these programs, then they go back and implement them at their own institutions and offer them within their own institutional frameworks. The focus on math and science is because there's a dire need in the continent to be able to develop the human resources in these areas. So we haven't had the capacity to train enough people in the area of math and science, and so that has been one of the major focuses for the African Virtual University. Well, some of the technological challenges include internet connectivity, which can be very expensive. And sometimes it's also not everybody can gain easy access to the internet. You know, in some areas, like in the rural areas, it's much harder to gain access to internet connectivity compared to the urban areas. So that's still a big challenge. But we've been able to work with African universities to design and set up what we call open distance and e-learning centers. So in these centers, we come in and we furnish the rooms and we set up computers. We put in a server, and we also train them on how to use this equipment to be able to develop and deliver online courses. So that's one way we try to mitigate the challenge of people not having easy access to the technology. And we also provide like backup generators for power outages, and we try to make it as easy as possible for people to be able to use our programs. So that's how we've tried to mitigate the challenge of access to internet connectivity.